Hey, before I get started, I want to put a disclaimer that what I'm about to say is only theorizing. I don't know if Monomi Park is actually going to make a TV show based on their hit game. I'm only going to share my predictions, thoughts, and ideas of whether or not Slime Rancher deserves to be a TV show or not. With that disclaimer out of the way, I hope you enjoy the rest of the video. Adapting a video game into a TV show can be tricky sometimes. Mainly, you gotta focus on attracting new audience as well as the veterans that know the franchise for a very long time. A good example of a good adaptation is Castlevania. Based on the action-adventure gothic horror franchise, I have never played any of the Castlevania games. But when I heard that the TV show story is a little different than the actual game. Even though it's a little different, they put a nice spin into it to where that brings veterans as well as newcomers into the franchise. It isn't as complicated or dialogue heavy. Honestly, it makes me want to actually play the Castlevania games, and that's the most important part. You gotta make newcomers interested in the original media. Castlevania, Sonic Boom, Gunma San Diego, Skylanders Academy, and so on are good adaptations. So what about Slime Rancher? Is it possible to adapt its video game version into TV formats? Well, simply that, yes, it is possible. The year 2020 is no doubt the most dumpster fire of the year. It's universally hated at this point, for many reasons why. We need something that will bring everyone in good moods once again, and hopeful. And I think due to Slime Rancher's art style, it's perfect for it. Not just the art style, but also its themes. Whenever you boot up the game, you feel the sense of smile and joy whenever you look at the slimes. Just the title alone, Slime Rancher, is enough for the viewer to understand, oh, you're ranching for slimes? That's weird, but I am intrigued. Now that's marketing right there. And also imagine the merchandise. Anyway, sorry. Okay, so what will the TV show be based upon? Of course, the TV show will be based on Beatrice LeBou's adventure in the far, far range. How she first arrived to her adventure, learning about the world, experiencing new adventures with her new friends, as well as ranching little slimes. This sounds simple enough, but the most important thing you gotta consider is the first episode. People will want a show if it doesn't interest them. So it's important to go all out in the first episode. Instead of having very heavy dialogue explanation of the world, why not explain it through visual storytelling? Have a little bit of dialogue, but at the same time make the audience observe what's happening within the world. At first, let's say Beatrice LeBou comes to her new ranch. She looks confused. She doesn't know what to do. It's when she approaches one of the plot of land, she starts to investigate, learn about how it works. Press the button, buys the gadget, to only learn that she has to build defense for the Gorel. And instantly we know that that's her goal at the moment, is to build this construction to store the slimes in without them escaping. Really, Slime Rancher isn't complicated one bit. That's why I said that at least for the first episode, it would be through visual storytelling that we see Beatrice LeBou gradually learning as we are learning about this world. Show, don't tell, basically. Another reason for this is that in the game, you're by yourself. You're isolated from everyone else. So having this sense of isolation to the viewer will slowly understand the viewpoint of Beatrice LeBou's isolation a little bit. As for the rest of the episodes, of course, there has to be voice acting eventually. Maybe explain a little bit, maybe introduce some few new areas like towns, villages, and so on. I could definitely imagine in the Drive-VYEN there's a small little town called, I don't know, Sunburn or something. It's basically a Western style architecture, but there is of course sci-fi aspects of it. The reason why I brought it up is because, well, it's a dry reef. It's hot. It's deserted. It would make sense if the town has the architect similar to the cowboys of the old days. In the Indigo Quarry, I could see it as a mining facility. People go there to get minerals. An underground village or a town where you could trade these materials. And I thought it'd be a really cool concept. The Moss Blanket could be an area to explore. The Ancient Ruins is for historians or archaeological findings for people who want to learn about this alien world. The TV show will also help flesh out more of the NPCs that was in the game. Like example, let's say that Ogden makes food and eats a lot because he feels guilty of what he did back on Earth when he worked for the food company. Manchi works really hard to show her father that she's worth inheriting the company. But her problem is that she's a workaholic. She constantly makes money all the time, but she's not enjoying life. Work hard, but work smart, basically. For Victor, he's a little tricky. Because he's very obsessed with science and trying to control the outcomes, I would say maybe he had like several siblings growing up. He didn't have much control what to do. His parents would constantly tell him what career to pursue in, or he was rejected many times. So he has this sort of paranoia of constantly wanting to have control of the outcomes. It could be also a metaphor for technology, social media, and how it's in our daily lives constantly manipulating us if we're too far into it. We have to stay in reality, not in the digital world that's full of fiction. A perfect balance between the digital world and the real world. We cannot control the outcome, but we could prevent it from happening. I could keep ranting on my other ideas, but for now, I think you guys get the point. When it comes to making a TV show, you also gotta consider the people behind it. The director, the animators, the storyboard artist. How will the style of the show work out with all these people coming together? Will the TV show be 3D animated? 2D? I kinda like the idea of the TV show having the style similar to 101 Dalmatian Street. Like, it's a really cute show, and I thought, you know what, that would be really great for Slot Rancher, considering its happy, colorful nature of it. At the same time though, it's very risky in making a TV show. It requires a lot of money and hard work to make it happen. For all we know, maybe Sun Rancher will fail as a TV show. But honestly, I think it could easily succeed just because it's nature. With the current status of the world at the moment, we need something that would cheer us up. I think the world of slimes will definitely help us with that. A sense of hope for a better future. What do you guys think? You have your own ideas? Share it down below. I look forward to reading what you guys have to say. Like always, stay wiggly.